Hi everyone, welcome to the 27th episode of the Zicast. As always, I'm your host Ryan Ziax. Today I'm joined by my fellow 7 Keys interns, Nikki Ocampo and Delaney Knopp. Say hi guys.
Hi.
Hey.
And I'd like to shout out the incredible John Na for technical directing once again. And also thank you for 7 Keys for letting me use their studio. And guys, I think you have a gist of what the Zicast is about. It's a interview podcast where I get to know my friends better, very guest driven. So how about we get into things? And I'd like to ask you guys to tell us a bit about yourselves.
All right. Delaney, you want to start?
Sure.
I'm sorry, not to be like put you on the spot.
No. So I'm Delaney. I go to Tulane University. It's in New Orleans. I'm gonna be a senior this fall. And what else? I grew up here in LA in the Palisades, which is closer to the beach. I don't know, been here since I was like 2. My family's from New York, but yeah, just grew up in LA and then been at Tulane. That's about it.
Awesome. And what do you study at Tulane?
Communications.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now the ball's in your court, Nikki.
Yeah. I'm Nikki. I'm gonna be a junior at Cal State Northridge. I'm from like the Long Beach, Orange County area, and I've grew up in Southern California all my life. So this is all I know, and I still go to like college in the LA area. So I've always grown up here. I'm a film student. I study film production, and I'm really excited to be here with you guys. Yeah.
Awesome. And I spent all my life in Connecticut.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of questions about California, but of course we all found each other because we're here at 7 Keys. So I'd like to ask you guys what drew you to wanting to work here?
I was looking for some type of internship in digital media because I'm looking probably to go into some type of PR field just with studying communications. And I found this online when I was looking and then recognized the company because of shows like Tiger Belly and Bad Friends I was familiar with. And so then I applied and interviewed and it was a great fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think same thing for me. Like since I'm a film student, I was looking for like especially like a summer internship to keep myself busy. Like I really wanted to like feel like I was doing something over the summer. So I'm like, okay, I really want to get more experience in like general entertainment, not just film, because I feel like in school I'm just restricted to usually student film stats. But with like 7 Keys, it was more of like things to do with social media and podcasts and YouTube and just so many other things I wasn't too familiar with. And I feel like I'm so like online, like I've grown up with social media and the internet. Like I've always just like been so active on social media. So coming here, it was just like I was so familiar with that kind of platform, and it's definitely something that I want to pursue in the future. And even like during the interview process, the energy from everyone here was so cool. Like it was like the most fun interview I've ever been in, getting to talk to people from 7 Keys. So yeah, that's how I found it.
Yeah, it is a very fun, homey environment.
Yeah, you
here.
can totally tell that everyone here is like they're all friends, and it's just so fun. The energy's great.
Yeah, like they're letting me do this here.
Yeah, yeah.
And I kind of like what you said because or podcasting 7 Keys, it really does combine like everything because it's like TV, it's like radio, it's social media.
Yeah.
So it's getting like all those skills in one
Right.
while having fun doing this.
Yeah.
So that's what really stood out to me when applying too, because of course I'm fortunate enough to have Andres Fancy B work at my school, and that's where I kind of learned about 7 Keys, and that's how I found myself here.
Cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Got this connects.
Yeah.
Got this connects.
the dots lined up. So kind of following that, you brought up Bad Friends and Tiger Belly, Delaney. I'd like to ask you guys some of your experiences here at 7 Keys or on Bad Friends or any other shows, if you want to talk about those.
Yeah. I went twice to Bad Friends. I haven't been to Tiger Belly yet, which I know you guys just went, so I'd love to hear about that. But I kind of just stood in the back.
Yeah. As we do.
Yeah. Didn't say much, but it was a really cool experience to be there, especially because I've watched it before, even just like before being an intern here, seeing it on TikTok and stuff, and just being familiar with who Andrew and Bobby both are. And so to actually be like seeing how it happens, it was just, I don't know, I think it was just so interesting.
Yeah, it's like surreal to see that.
I love like just seeing how things work, especially behind the scenes. Like everything from like showing up to where they film it and walking in and getting to see how everything's kind of structured. I love the shadowing process. I think that even just by sitting there and watching people, you learn a lot.
Yeah.
Because you get to see like Bobby and Andrew and how they are before the shows and how they feel about like what's going to happen, how they feel after the show, how do they feel about what they did. Like I guess I never took into consideration how they feel about like their performance, but we get to watch that. So I feel so lucky just to be there. I feel like that's an experience that I didn't think I would have coming into interning here. So it's definitely been a highlight, like literally just learning.
Right.
Also just getting to see the really cool hosts. I mean, not hosts, like the guests come in is just an experience that I didn't think I'd have. So it's so fun.
Yeah, because they really are naturals, Bobby and Andrew.
Yeah.
And the way that they operate, and it's like they can just show up and just do it.
Yeah, you like,
it's incredible.
They show up and they're on.
Yeah.
Like everything moves, it's so snappy. I was like, oh, so many things are happening. It's so fun.
Because it's such a special ability, like the comedian, to just be there. Like when I do this, I extensively prepare. And I feel like they could just show up and just do it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then like on the producing side, like Andres, Carlos, McCone, like the efficiency of their process too. Like that's really fun to learn from our perspective.
Yeah, even like us like watching like from like our little desk in the corner, just seeing the three of them do their thing is really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course I had my viral moments there on Bad Friends. Where they asked me some personal questions. The Bad Friends fandom
they got you.
Yeah, they got me. A lot of dollar shop Homelander jokes came my way, but I feel like it was mostly a positive reception. Like I was telling Nikki that I got recognized by some fans at In-N-Out.
Yeah.
Where they were like, I've seen you from somewhere, and I'm like, do you watch Bad Friends? They're like, oh my, the light bulb just goes off. So that's
you made it.
Yeah, I got
Bad Friends clout.
Exactly.
Following you for life.
Exactly. I'm an F-list celebrity now. I got dapped up by a bunch of people at In-N-Out. Yeah, like that's the most Hollywood I felt.
Yeah.
You're definitely gonna like go back to school and everyone's gonna be like, what was it like? You're gonna come back just like as like a little micro celeb.
Yeah. I'm already getting asked that now.
No way.
Like I was telling Lane, the CEO of 7 Keys, that he's gonna get like 1 million applicants from Quinnipiac now.
Oh yeah.
Because of my experience.
Yeah.
That it's beyond.
That's so cool.
And yeah.
Gotta spread the word.
Exactly. And kind of like I mentioned before, I grew up in another C-named state, Connecticut, but you guys grew up in California, so I'd like to ask you a bit more about that. Like how was that growing up here?
Honestly, I might be biased, but I feel like just being here, like there's no other place. There's no other place to be. That was a realization that kind of came to me when I started like kind of getting older. I kind of took things for granted when I was like in high school, when I was younger. But then when I got to college, I started exploring more places in California and started appreciated where I was from more. And like we live by the beach, we live by the water, and so that's something that I took for granted, and I feel like we're so lucky to have. I think it's just a great place to live. There's so much to do. Each city is so different. Like even though I'm from Long Beach and you're from like LA, and they're both pretty different, but they're both so like cool and diverse and just so worth visiting. I think California is great.
Yeah, I love it here. I think, I mean, I'm mostly just familiar with the West Side, but I'm also just like, I'm like 10 minutes from the beach, and so I think it's like, I mentioned this earlier, but my family's from New York, and so we visit there often, and I also love New York. But I think, I don't know, I don't think I would wish I would grow up anywhere else, like, but LA. But I think maybe after college, I'm considering going to New York. And I mean, I did get out of California for college as well, but I think it's just like me wanting, I think I'm just lucky that I know my parents live here. So it's like me wanting to move away isn't like wanting to get out of California because I know I can like always visit. I think it's just like wanting like everything.
Yeah. Like I've had a lot of conversations with my friends where they're like, oh, do you think like in the future you'll stay in California or kind of live where you grew up? And I'm like, absolutely. I think that maybe in the future I would probably like maybe move to a different state or maybe a country. Ooh. But I'd always come back to California. Like I think in the future I'm always going to come back here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have like the two hot spots, New York
Right.
and California.
Yeah, you're
That's
so
funny.
lucky.
I'm
You're
East Coaster
bi-coastal.
coming here, you're West Coaster going there.
Yeah.
I guess that there's one like little synergy there.
Do you think you'd like stay here in California, like maybe after college or like in the future?
I mean, I definitely would love to, especially just because the work's here. The work
Yeah.
and things like this
Yeah.
is here. It's the entertainment hotspot. Richie was telling me on here, like, if you love movies, this is the place to be. Like, I went to the premiere of, like, Twisters. And,
Oh,
like, stuff like that.
really?
Like, that's so, like, fun
Yeah,
in, like,
you
Hollywood.
saw Glenn Powell. I saw
Yeah.
the pic. That's crazy.
I
Was
did,
it
yeah.
good?
It was very fun. I think it was extra fun because I was there at the
You were
premiere
at the
with all
premiere,
the
yeah.
all the people who made it. But it's like the Hollywood stuff like that, and just kind of being around LA, like kind of like you said, it's like it's such a different place everywhere you go. There's so much variance in the landscape and the way the city is designed.
There's something for everyone, I think. Like even like, Southern California is so different from Northern California. California has like literally something for everyone, even like different cities, like 30 minutes away from each other.
Yeah, and also the consistency of the weather. Like Connecticut, it's so inconsistent day to day. It'll be warm, really warm, then it'll be really cold.
Yeah.
Like here, it's just warm.
Yeah.
Like, every day it's just
we got
warm.
one season.
Like I'll wake up and I'll know what weather it's like outside,
Yeah.
and it definitely won't be raining.
Yeah.
So that's something I've come to really appreciate here. Is at least that, and the atmosphere, landscape, very very beautiful. So kind of adding on top of that, I'd like to ask you guys some of your like favorite like things to do in California or favorite like spots. If you have any like tips to give.
I'd say the beach. I like Malibu a lot. And Santa Monica as well. There's some fun hikes. Like Will Rogers is close to me. I just like my town. It's like recently become more of Rick Caruso. He like ran for mayor. Have you been to the Grove?
I have been to the Grove.
Okay,
yeah.
so it's the guy who builds the Grove. His name's Caruso, and he like recently started like creating like a mini Grove like where I live, and so it's like becoming more of a like I have friends that live like 30 minutes away that I'll bump into like down the road from my house because it's like now like that's where like cool restaurants are.
The hot spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So honestly, just like being able to like walk around like near home.
Like you
It's
live somewhere
fun.
that people want to visit,
Yeah.
which is so
Which is a
cool.
little weird because now all of a sudden there's like designer stores opening up that like
Yeah.
I
Bougie.
can't afford.
It's like bougie, yeah, literally
Bougieville.
bougie.
Yeah, and it like wasn't like that used to be Beverly Hills, and I just like
Yeah.
I guess my parents just were smart to think
Yeah.
maybe 10 years from now this will be
It'll be
like,
poppin'.
Yeah.
And it is.
Yeah. They saw the vision.
They did. They manifested that.
Yeah.
For sure.
And kind of, what about like for you, Nikki? Any like places you?
Yeah, I think I also love the beach, and I think closer to me is Laguna Beach. I kind of like the Orange County area. There's a lot of beaches in Laguna, just like Malibu. I also love Malibu, so second on that. Laguna has a lot of different beaches, and it's such a cute like beach town. Like there's like a main street of like cute little shops and things. I was just there this past week. Super cool. I love concerts. Like my favorite concert venue is probably like the Greek Theater in LA. It's like in Griffith Park. It's outside and you're like inside. That's such a weird thing to say. It's outside, but it's inside. It's an outdoor venue, and you're like nestled inside Griffith Park. You're surrounded by trees and stuff. So, also like the Hollywood Bowl was really cool.
Yeah.
So as a frequent concert goer, those are like my favorite places to be. Also, just where I'm from in Long Beach, it's such a big city, and it's obviously like less popular than LA, but it's like in LA County, I guess, but it's something more suburban. But there's like downtown Long Beach, and there's different streets. Like there's this place called Second Street, a bunch of like restaurants, and it's by another beach. So it's just like a cool little, not beach town, but kind of place to be. So I feel like it's kind of underrated, less crowded than LA, but I've grown an appreciation for being there and for living there. But yeah, just what Delaney said, I love the beach too. I visited lots of other places in LA. There's so many things for people to do. So that's probably what everyone thinks. Like, I want to go to LA. But there's a lot to do.
There's
so
a lot more than yeah. Like one of my goals is to find the places that are less crowded.
Yeah,
everywhere is crowded.
Everywhere,
yeah,
like LA is so congested, so crazy and congested, and driving is insane here. But I know you don't drive here, so you're kind of lucky. You're relying on that public transit.
Yeah, so. Yeah. I've been in cars with people who drive, and I see the
crazy. I hate parking here.
It does kind of give me anxiety. Seeing that, I'm like, that could be me someday.
Are you ever driving and you're like, oh, LA drivers are like a real thing?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this is actually crazy. Yeah. I feel like we're so used to it because we live here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took me like an hour to get here this morning, and it's not even
that
like
far.
Peak time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like 5 p.m. when it's peak. It's like in the morning, 8 a.m. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's kind of like what you said about the concerts. Like that's another thing LA has. There's so many cool theaters, like theater venues. Like I was able to go, like you mentioned, the Hollywood Bowl to see the John Williams orchestra in concert, and that's so cool, like the different kind of designs and the way they kind of play with the environment of Los Angeles. Like the background of the Hollywood Bowl, you can see the Hollywood sign, and then it's like the music plays. Like I feel like I'm in a movie.
Yeah.
And talking about the traffic, that's an everyday thing here, which built into my next topic, which is kind of recommendations for people who want to live in California.
Ooh. I guess it kind of depends on what you're looking for. Like, do you want to live that like kind of like city life, kind of like busy city life, or do you want something more suburban or something more like, you know, like coastal or calm? Like there's different like beach towns in California, but there's also more like urban city, busy kind of cities to live in. And definitely like a lot of suburban places like where I'm from. So it kind of just depends, I guess, if you're looking to come here.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know, just because, like, I just live with, like, my family, and my friends, too, are all in, like, suburb areas.
Yeah.
But I think for, like, younger people, I know my cousin just graduated from USC and decided to move here, and she's in, like, West Hollywood. So I think that, and I have another friend who's graduated going to West Hollywood as well. So I think that might be somewhere where like college kids are migrating.
Yeah.
But I think if I were to come back here and like have a family here, I'd probably like stay on like the coast near a beach, but not necessarily like the Palisades. Even like, Laguna, I think is like great. I love Balboa.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so nice. Like Newport, Newport area, it's so nice. I think I'd have to agree. I guess like I don't think I can live far from a beach ever again. Like growing up here, like it's like a 10-minute drive to the beach now. I'm like, okay, I need to have this for like the rest of my life. So if you're like me, then look in the places we're talking about. I guess.
Yeah, this is also a question that'll probably age well as you guys potentially move away.
I know. I'm gonna like have a weird memory of this when I'm like 40 and be like, I'm so right when I was on Brian's podcast years ago. I'm still living in California by the beach.
You could like dust off YouTube, your old monitor. And
literally,
watch YouTube.
I'm gonna show everyone like I manifested this. I'm living here now. I talked about it on the pod.
Yeah, and I do say that we manifest things here on the Zicast, so maybe that's something that we'll look back on.
That works. Speak into existence. It comes true.
Exactly. And now I have a question for you, Delaney. Is that you, which kind of builds onto this, you went to Tulane in New Orleans. Like, how does that compare to California?
Yeah, I think it's so different. Like, even just like looking at the homes and like architecture, it just like looks so different, and there's just so much history and culture that I think it's really unique to New Orleans, but also not something I felt like. I think LA has like their like entertainment and like that kind of culture, but it's all kind of like bougie and like I think it's just so different than going to like a city where it just feels like it's like, I don't know, the people and just like so much like more like of a community or just like history of things, not just like rich people moving.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because it's like, well, it's the South, and you kind of have that like the forgetting, like, what's it called, like Bourbon Street?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that. I mean, that's always what I envision when I think of New Orleans.
Yeah.
Like, have you been there, and like,
Yeah.
how is that?
Bourbon's fun. It's chaotic. I usually have just I go at like night. Usually it's more of a nightlife type of thing because my campus is in Uptown, and part of Uptown I wouldn't say is too different. Where it's like there's popular areas like Magazine Street, is just like blocks of like cute like shops and restaurants, and a lot of it's like just super charming. But and then Bourbon is like, that's where it gets a little crazy. There's like
Mardi Gras. And,
yeah. People have like snakes that they're like putting on you and like.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Wow.
but it's definitely a unique experience, but
Yeah.
so fun, and I would recommend everyone goes to visit.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just fun to get away from home during your like college years to kind of see someplace different.
Yeah.
That's true.
Even if you're from California, where you have all these beaches and
Right.
everything, it's like, I'm sure like getting to go see New Orleans and somewhere different is so fun.
Yeah. I also think kind of what you were saying, just like as you grow up, it makes you like appreciate things more, too.
home.
Because it's just like, I'm just so lucky that I was like placed here as a baby in
Literally
California.
I was like, shout out my parents for
Yeah.
picking this like random town in California to raise me.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
So yeah, I'm definitely big on like wanting to see other places.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And now we're entering into some loaded question territory.
Ooh.
I'd like to ask you guys, what are some things that people may not know about you? So like fun facts.
Fun fact. I grew up doing wrestling and jiu-jitsu because my dad's super into MMA, so he like put me into wrestling with my younger brother like when I was like 8, and I stopped doing it when I was like 11 or 12, like kind of going into middle school. And so I was like the only girl like in this like wrestling gym. I would go to a bunch of tournaments, and I was the only girl in all of these tournaments in my bracket. And so growing up and doing that kind of taught me a lot of discipline, and also like my place in athletics or in the world as a girl. But now like, my life took a whole like 180, and now I'm like super into the arts. Like once I got to middle school and high school, I was really into like theater and film. So going from like wrestling to the arts was kind of a crazy switch up. So I have like a state championship title in wrestling.
Really?
And like I just can't believe that was my life, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of fun to think about, but people don't really expect that when they look at me.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
Wow.
I definitely can't do the stuff I was doing when I was 11 for sure. I'm like weak as hell.
That's like the fun fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like
wish I
you-
went first.
You,
No.
you should like go on the casuals.
No,
They talk about,
I
like-
know when they came in, we were talking about it, and I was like, I'm getting flashbacks, dude.
You should like bring your trophy and stuff. And,
Oh
like,
my
bring
god,
it to
yeah, like my
casuals.
little medals, dude.
That's so cool.
Wow.
Thanks, guys.
What was like your like go-to moves? Like,
Okay, literally when the ref would blow the whistle, I would literally just like tackle the person's legs. I wouldn't even think about the move. I would just like go for the person's legs because I knew that like once you're on the ground, like you have the control, and so I'm like, okay, I'm winning. Since I was so young, I wasn't really thinking about, I guess, the technical aspects. Like to be honest, I didn't really know what I was doing. But I was like, okay, I know that if I tackle this person, I'm doing something right.
Right.
So that's like the first thing I would do. But that's all I really remember.
so you were quick out of the gates.
Yes. Yeah. I had to wear like the stupid singlet. I don't know if anyone knows what like a wrestling uniform looks like, but I wore like a red singlet. It's like this like unitard with shorts and
Oh
like
my
a tank
God.
top. And I had like the stupid little headgear thing. Dude. And then you'd have to show up really early in the morning to like weigh in at the gym. And so they would write your weight on your arm. So I'd go to school the next day with like my weight on my
Oh my
arm.
god, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's kind of intimidating.
Yeah, because they'd try to put you in like your bracket with your weight class or whatever, but I don't know, it's a different life, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Never again. It's in the past.
That's
What's
crazy
that?
though.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's wow.
Thanks, guys.
The fun fact.
Thank you.
And what's your fun fact?
My fun fact.
Were you a boxer or an MMA fighter?
I definitely was not. I'm not very athletic. I usually just when I'm asked a fun fact, I say I can solve Rubik's cubes.
Really?
How fast?
Are you like a machine at it?
Not
Like
that good.
Like those kids on the bus?
Not
That would
yet.
always,
Not that
like-
good yet.
I
Just
haven't
keep practicing.
I
though.
haven't done it in a while, but I'm like I think my peak was like under 2 minutes. And I'm not one of those like 10-second person, but
When did you discover that you could do that? You're like, I'm gonna solve that Rubik's Cube. Like,
I think
it up.
I think I was in high school. One of my teachers had like brought in like fidget toys, and one was like a mini Rubik's Cube.
You killed it.
And then I was just like, I need to do this. I like bought like a bigger one. But then I go in phases where I like forget about it, and then I'll just decide like I want to like be really good, and then I'll give up and go back and forth.
There's like tournaments, I know, like competitions, like Rubik's Cube ones. You should totally do that.
I don't know if I'm
You should
there
totally
yet.
get into it.
I know. I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I don't know. I just like doing. I like one time. I also gave up on this, but I started memorizing pi, like just in my free time. Just like I like doing like little like random.
Like side quests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, when I think about numbers, I'm gonna pass out. Like, I can't do that.
Yeah, I'm not like mathy. I think sometimes I'm like need something to do with my time, and so I'm like a puzzle type person.
Oh.
I like having like brainy hobbies like
Right.
that. Like
What do you consider like a brainy hobby?
like one of my roommates, he like watches Jeopardy on the reg,
Okay.
and he's like a trivia master.
I
because
love
of it.
that.
So that's like stuff like that. It's like I really like having those like smart people thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like a casual flex.
Yeah.
That is a smart people thing. When I think about my hobbies, I'm just like sleeping. Like, I'm not like doing trivia. So you're like exercising your brain, dude. Your frontal lobe is probably like forming way faster than mine.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm thinking about what you said, Nikki. Yeah, because like in high school, like I was an athlete. I never really did any film thing.
Oh, nice. What'd you do? What sports you play?
I played football and I did track. So then
Oh, sick.
then I got to college. Even 2 years in, because I transferred to my school recently, I had not studied film, and I had like an epiphany, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this now. Then I transferred, and then
How did you discover like, oh, I want to do film stuff now?
I always wanted to work or learn, like study film, but it wasn't available at my old school. But I just got the urge to do it. Came to Quinnipiac.
Nice.
Trickling
Perfect.
effect
And now you're
on
here.
myself here. So I kind of get that, and then starting those like artsy things later. And I do appreciate like the doing the Rubik's cubes. That's above my head.
I mean, it's just like memorizing things. I wouldn't be able to figure it out without like looking up how to do it.
It's like a pattern thing.
Yeah, there's like different algorithms. So it's like you have to.
Now we work in different algorithms.
Yeah.
Like, I just like do it. I'm just like moving it around to see if it looks right. I didn't know there was like a pattern.
Yeah.
But
There's like a
crazy.
rhythm, right? Kind of to it, like
It's
it
like
muscle memory?
depends on like. Depending on like how it looks, there's like you have to kind of go by layers. So it's like you get, once it's like the white part is like complete, then it's like a new algorithm, and it's just like, I don't know.
You guys are way smarter than I am.
But
I think our brains are like,
Yeah, but you
Different
have
si-
the
enough-
athletic.
oh, absolutely not. Like, now if you like throw a ball at me, I'll like run away. Like, I can't. I think I used up all of my athletic abilities when I was like a preteen, and then once I got to middle school, everything was lost, and I became like a huge theater kid. So like that's the reason why I am the way I am now. But
My brother and I did theater because my parents are both athletes, and like they played sports in college too. So I think they were expecting to have athletic children, especially because my brother and I are both really tall. And
did
like
you ever play sports?
I would do it with my school, but I would always be on the worst team,
Oh,
like always. And I would only do it because my mom would make me. But
What'd you play?
like I've done everything.
Everything?
And nothing stuck.
What was your favorite or the least worst?
Let's see. I didn't like basketball. I found it intimidating because I played with all my, like in elementary school with all my friends, but two of them were like really good. So just having like my like best friends like scream at me because I'm like butterfingers and I can't figure anything out. But then in high school, I did cheerleading and softball
Oh,
because
okay.
more of just like being with my friends. Like I used to tell the coach to like keep me on the bench. just so I could like.
You just want to be with your friends.
I just wanted to hang out.
You just want to be with your friends.
Just
dude.
like do stuff after school, but like not have to actually get up to bat.
Oh, but you just want to like be part of the team.
Yeah.
That's so cute. Oh my god.
Yeah, I did some theater when I was younger, but I'm also like shy, so I like wasn't like big into it. I would just like I never wanted to like be like the lead, you know.
Yeah. Definitely some character building though. I did theater like all throughout middle school and all throughout high school. Like huge theater kid in high school, and it definitely built like 70% of who I am now, which is like I don't know if that's a good thing.
I think
I'm just kidding. But yeah, just going from like wrestling to theater is just like my brain, dude, just like switched up completely. Like lived two different lives.
Yeah.
That's so funny when you find out that people did theater when they were little.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like we're like soul ties.
Yeah.
Like, weird shared experience.
Yeah. Kindred spirits.
Yes, literally.
Yes. And I call that versatility. and this. And so now to enter the realm of another loaded question, what are some of your hopes and dreams professionally or in general?
Ooh.
Let's see. I think I like probably, like I was saying, I want to do stuff in like PR, but I don't know really yet if that's like, if I want to be necessarily like at a PR like firm or like for a certain company, or like what kind of like road I'm going to take. I think I've like really enjoyed having this internship because it's just like being able to do things with like social media, or even just when we're thinking about like potential guests and stuff, like having to like think about how like an audience is going to perceive things and think about like those communication strategies is like interesting to me. But then also it can be in a world that's not just like strictly like a firm that has to like do like management, like, or crisis management and stuff like that. So I think probably my like dream career would probably be staying in entertainment or like sports, but then being on like the communication side of it.
Yeah. Like more businessy communications. It's cool.
Yeah, and that's another great point of like what we do, gathering information on potential clients and kind of that outsourcing. 'Cause that's another really helpful like modern new media thing that we do.
For sure.
That's very helpful.
I think for me, like I definitely want to stay in the realm of entertainment and specifically film, even though with this internship now, I don't feel restricted to film. I think especially because I'm a film production student, thinking about like career options in my future, I was kind of limiting myself to film and working in the film industry. But being at Seven Eckies, like what Delaney said, working with social media and like podcasting and like short form videos, long form videos, like just more things on the internet and more things in media. Now coming out of this, I'm so open to more careers in the media landscape, like literally anything. I just feel I'm way more open and educated now.
Right.
Like this has given me just so many new opportunities that haven't had before and that I can't traditionally like learn at school.
Yeah.
Like this has given me so many real world experiences, like observing even what John does and like, I didn't know, and seeing like the producers do, like seeing Andreas and Carlos on Bad Friends, even joining like our like all hands meetings that we have here in the office and getting to see the stages of developing a show, from getting talent to like developing it to producing it to actually having it on this set, is so interesting to me. But since I'm a film student, like I keep saying, like I obviously really do want to go down that route, and I'm like a producing emphasis in school right now, so getting to see how producers work here is really beneficial to me, because that's more of the direction I want to go in film, with producing and directing. But also I think in my career, especially with film, I like a hope and dream I have is to do something in the capacity of opening the door for more women in like media and film. That was definitely one of my goals, especially going into like a film program that's like pretty like male dominated, and like an industry that's mostly male dominated. I really want to create a safe space for women in the arts, and so that's something like a hope and dream I have.
That's great.
Amazing. And producing, that's great because people love producers because everybody in film school wants to be a director.
Literally so true. And like coming into film school, I really wanted to direct, but then seeing what producers do and literally everyone else does, like you gain such a appreciation and like an open mind to many more like careers and opportunities that you didn't know really existed or you didn't know that you would like.
Right.
Yeah. And it's where the money is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's that as well, and really kind of like what you said, it emphasizes how entertainment's very different nowadays in the social media era, where it used to just be movies and TV.
Yeah.
Or like radio, and that's where people were.
But now it's like, okay, everyone can be an influencer. And when you have, everyone can be an influencer. It's so easy for people to be viral or blow up and to have a career based on their social media profile. And within that one person opens up even more careers. Like, people represent that one person on the internet. So just being here at 7 Nikki's really opened my eyes to that. Like, there's a whole team behind one influencer or one like host or something or one show. There's a whole team of people, so there's more jobs than I thought and more opportunities than people think.
And it's crazy how like kind of like you said, like how deep the rabbit hole can go, where it's like this one comedian who's an influencer with a ton of followers, how does that followers connect to this platform, and how could like when we're looking for a client, we look at all of these different things, and that's something that's very interesting and very new and different that we have here.
Even with like the kind of daily tasks that were assigned here, what I've learned is it's really interesting with we create like talent one sheets where we research like someone on the internet with a show or a potential talent to bring in here. We look at like, okay, who would be a potential guest? Who would work well with them? So I'm thinking ways that I haven't before with like, oh, this person would do really well with this host and they would have great chemistry together. And this is what their social media looks like. This is what their audience is. Like, what does their demographic look like? Why is this so appealing? So I'm learning a lot in that sense too.
Yeah, because you think about like the dynamic of like an entertaining dynamic between people, like fan bases and how they would interact. And it's, like I said, it just goes, there is so much depth to it that you wouldn't really think on the surface.
Yeah, I think that the three of us now are able to look at things way deeper. Like when I watch a podcast now or a show online, I think about the stuff we're doing, because I feel like before I would just watch it, be entertained, like, oh, okay, whatever. But now I'm thinking about, oh, like what are the producers doing? How'd they find this guest? What was that process like? So being at this internship really opened my eyes to that whole process.
Yeah, and like getting to like shadow like a show like Bad Friends when they have a big guest and seeing how like that process is. How they prep and kind of like what I said with like the efficiency and how smooth the process can be when you're at this like professional level. Yeah, and moving onwards, now I have what I call the golden questions, which is to ask, what are some of your favorite movies?
Good question. I think off the top of my head, I think of The Dark Knight.
That's my favorite.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh my god. Awesome.
Oh,
we are like this.
Guys, we're more like this than we ever thought.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, Jake Gyllenhaal is one of my favorite actors.
He's one of my favorites too.
Okay.
Whoa.
Guys,
have
we
you
needed
seen
this.
Brokeback Mountain? Because that's my
I have
favorite.
not. Yeah.
Why is he laughing? Why is John laughing?
It's a really intense movie.
Yeah.
But I love it, and I feel like a lot of people need to see it. Anyways.
I'll share my Letterboxd top 4 movies. So my number 1 is Lady Bird.
I love
Saoirse Ronan. I love Timothée Chalamet. Like, that's my man. I love Greta Gerwig, like one of my favorite directors. Then I really love The Diary of a Teenage Girl. That's kind of more like a smaller, not underground movie, but I'll call it underground. I love Her with Joaquin Phoenix. And Juno. I love
I've
Juno.
never seen Juno.
You need to watch Juno.
Love it.
I've seen it. I remember when I first watched it, I watched it twice in one day. I showed my parents, I showed everyone I knew. Like, the soundtrack is so cute. Like that. I watched Juno and Lady Bird, and those are 2 movies that like, I wish I made.
Right.
I watch it and I'm like, that's like, this is so special. I wish this came from me. And so I think with me in the future, like if I end up making a movie, like I would love to make something like that makes me feel the way I felt when I watched those movies for the first time. I love kind of like coming of age, slice of life dramas. So those are definitely my top 4.
That have like the humor to them, and then a strong voice.
Yeah, especially from like a young like female perspective with like female directors and writers. Like you really have that female voice that's really strong. And, I feel like these are movies that will stay so relevant. They have such like strong messages that will stay relevant for like years and years to come. Like they'll always be my favorites. I think. Yeah.
Because kind of on that note, I watched Little Women recently. So
Love
I've seen all
Little
the
Women.
Greta Gerwig movies.
She's amazing. Did you like it?
Yeah, it's probably my favorite of hers.
Are you Team Joe or Team Amy?
Team Joe or Team Amy? I'm forgetting the character's name.
Joe's the lead, the main girl, and then
Saoirse Ronan and
Saoirse Ronan, and then Florence Pugh's Amy.
Florence Pugh's Amy. As someone who fashions myself as a writer, I guess I would say I'm Team Joe in that regard. I didn't realize this was like Twilight with the team.
Maybe I made it that way, but just because like I don't know, spoiler alert. Not really. This movie's been out for a long time, but like Timothy Chalamet, Laurie is like the love interest not between both of them, but like first he's with Joe and then he's with Amy. People are like, who's the better match, Joe or Amy?
I don't think I've ever seen the whole movie, but I think I've watched like clips, and I think I'm Team Joe.
Yeah, because I'm Team
I get
Joe
it.
too.
Isn't it like she doesn't love him or doesn't?
Yeah.
Or what is it?
And she makes like sacrifices for her sisters.
She does.
It just seems like the one he ended up marrying, like he only did because Joe like wasn't ready.
Joe wanted to like focus on her career and like her life. Like life was just so bigger than love in her mind at the time when she was younger. So she was like, no, I need to focus on myself and my career and my writing. And then Amy kind of felt like the second choice, so she struggled with that. Not to get on like a Little Women tangent, but but yeah, I think I'm Team Joe too.
Yeah. And do you have any other favorites, Delaney, that you could?
Let's see. Have you seen Memento?
I love Memento.
I like Memento
That's one
a
of my
lot.
favorites.
I saw that. I think
Like a
that
hive
last
mind.
summer. I loved it. What else? I feel like I like Moneyball too. I like a lot of those like. I don't know, like sometimes like even more serious movies. Like I think it's called Vice, is like one I like. Just like when it's like I kind of
Joaquin
like.
Phoenix. Yeah, right.
I think it's Christian Bale.
Yeah, Christian Bale.
No, I was thinking of
I don't know. I think I like sometimes when it's like aspects of real life and then like.
Yeah. Definitely like thinker movies. I think all my brain power.
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I love a good 1 hour, 30-minute movie.
Yeah, you were saying that.
Yeah, earlier.
We watched Gladiator in preparation for a show we're doing today, and that's quite the long one.
Yeah, I think all the movies I named earlier like fall under the 2 hour mark, or if they are over 2 hours, like a little bit.
Yeah.
I think hers a little bit longer, but yeah, my attention span is not there.
It's a great choice. Yeah.
No, it depends on my mood because I also have a terrible attention span, but like sometimes like longer movies, like if they're like, I think like the reason I like them is because like if they can get my attention, which is like kind of like shocking to me that like I could want to watch like a movie over 2 hours.
That means it's really good.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like Gladiator, 2 hours and 35 minutes of brutal murders,
brutal
Shakespearean dialogue,
I know. And we'll get into that.
And I loved every second of it. And also on the previous note, it's a flex to say I've seen every Greta Gerwig movie because there's 3. So it's like.
Well, have you seen her movies when she acts in them? Like, have you seen like Frances Ha and I think it's 20th Century Women?
I have not yet.
Those are beautiful movies. Beautiful movies.
I've heard about Frances Ha.
Yeah, I want her career. She's amazing.
Yeah. And now she's doing Narnia movies, if I'm not mistaken. Which is interesting.
She came back from Barbie. She's like going more in the mainstream, and I'm like, no, Greta, like stay like my indie queen.
Yeah.
Like,
getting that bag.
I know we lost her to like the capitalist mainstream film industry. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and talking about attention spans. We are the Gen Z interns here at the Seven the Keys fan club.
Yeah.
On this episode of the Zicast. So kind of on that note, I'd like to thank you guys for coming on.
Thanks for having
us. Thank you so
us.
much.
For being my cool fellow interns.
Oh, thanks,
A great intro to this whole thing.
Yeah, this was great. Thank you.
It's so much fun. Thanks, dude.
Thank you, yeah. So as always, this is Ryan Zayaks with the Zicast, where everyone has a story. Signing off. Thank you so much for watching.